And you can't help that you love food. You can't control your love for food. Every single person that has walked this planet has loved food. All species, big and small, love food. Food is like air. We can control it more than we can control our breathing. However, it is still something that is instinctive to our bodies to need. So our bodies need air. It's instinctive to breathe in the air. We love air. It's vital to our survival. And there's no one who loves air more than someone else. So there's no one who loves food more than someone else because food is also instinctive to our survival. And it's really important for you not to say the words, I can't be thin because X, or I can't be healthy because Y. There's no greater self-limiting hurdles than your own words. And I say this because I had a friend who in the conversation said, I could never be thin because I love food too much. First of all, like I just said, no one can love food too much. It's like saying I love air too much. It is perfectly fine to love food, and no one can love it too much because that's like saying I can't love surviving too much. And when you say I can't be thin, not only is it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's not accurate. You can be thin because thin people love food too much. Everyone loves food too much. People love food. You're designed to love food. Now, food may have a place in your life where it shouldn't have because the right systems aren't in place, and so you're thinking about it a lot, or you always feel hungry, or something's happening that's causing you to have to think about your weight more than maybe a thin person who has these systems in place. And systems that I talk about through my courses, they are so great because once you get a system in place, it can go on autopilot and you don't have to think about your habits anymore, and it becomes a lifestyle and you don't have to think about it anymore. It doesn't take up any brain space. So it's one thing to have a goal in life. You should have a goal. You have to have a goal. Maybe your goal is to be a certain size, to feel a certain way physically. So that's fantastic because you can't get somewhere without knowing where you want to go. But the point is not just to get to the goal, because once you get to the goal, then what happens? You have to sustain it, but how do you sustain that goal? So the point is to build systems along the way to the goal that makes you get to the goal, but also makes it so that it becomes your lifestyle so that that goal can be sustained. So that's why systems are so important. And if you're not thin and you don't believe you can be thin, it has nothing to do with your capability of being thin. It has everything to do with your systems or your lack of systems in place. And everyone has systems and everyone has habits, whether they think they do or not. They're either habits that promote your goal or habits that don't promote your goal. Or in other words, good habits or bad habits. When I was a teenager, before I started to research nutrition and fitness and go on this journey of figuring out what systems to keep me healthy, I had habits that kept me feeling awful, but I just wasn't aware that they were bad habits. And that's why learning good habits and taking courses and researching, at least it exposes light on the good habits that you should have to get to a goal or to build up systems. And it can show you what habits are not working in your life. That's why research and that's why taking courses is such a good thing, because at least you know what other people are doing to reach success. And you can implement some of these habits that you may not have even known were the right habits. Like when I was a teenager, I had habits, but they were habits, for example, eating a lot of food right before bed, never moving my body. I never exercised, things like that. I had the habits of not doing those things. I was in a habit, just not a habit that promoted good health. So the point is, you can be thin. You just need to have certain systems in place. And the best way to learn those systems is to read success stories and read stories of people who have gone through the journey and learned the right systems. And then you can adopt their systems, see what works for you, but get the right habits and systems in place. And just even having those systems in place will automatically get you to the goal. You don't even really have to try to get to the goal, as you really just have to learn what the right systems are, and performing those systems regularly will automatically get you to the goal.